Welcome back to Motivation Nation. We are in Orlando. We're about to take the Brightline shuttle we're going to Miami. So y'all gonna tag along with me. We're headed to Miami. So again, I told you we were gonna up the content. So we're here with the family, and we're going to enjoy ourselves in Miami. So come along for the trip. All right, so we're taking the tram on over here. So I'm gonna do a little bit of voiceover, kind of give you guys an idea. So we end up, they have a parking garage B, but parking garage B was actually closed that day. So we had to go to an auxiliary parking lot, the economy parking, which is parking lot C. And so we had to take a tram all the way over to the Brightline Station. So the Brightline Station is at the Orlando International Airport, and it has a separate terminal, a separate wing that you have to go to. So because we weren't in parking B, it was kind of a walk to get there. So they had everything was very clean, very nice. They had a nice glass elevator where you could see everything around. So you had to go up to like the 4th floor, walk, then you had to go down to the level to the parking garage that we should have been parked there, and then go into a separate set of doors and then go up to a 5th level. So that's kind of what you guys are watching. As you can see, the terminal is looks very new, looks to be very clean, and we're going to continue walking forward, and then I will come back with some more commentary. And as you can see, this is connected to the international airport as well. So if for some reason your airline ticket price was cheaper to Orlando, and you just wanted to ride the Brightline down to Miami, if your final destination was West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, Aventura, or Miami, you could ride the train on down. So just sit back and continue to watch the video, and I will come back with a little bit more commentary. Okay, so now we have arrived at the Brightline Station. So right in there, you had a couple of options. So one option is you could use the kiosk and purchase the tickets for whichever stop you wanted to make, which was West Palm, Boca Raton, Aventura, or Miami. Or they had a person there who could assist you for an extra $10. And so there were different tiers, so you could choose the seating where you could have your seats randomly selected. So if it was more than one of you guys, you may or may not sit together, or you could pay just a little bit more and guarantee that you guys sit together. And you can have a table if it was 4 of you guys. So we chose that option to make sure that we all sat together, and the train was going to leave at 12:50. So right now, after you come through the station, this is what it looks like. All right, we're about to board the train to the Brightline. So we're about to board. I'm waiting on my family. We're about to head down to the 12:50 train here to Miami. I'll see you guys on board. Okay, so now about 10 minutes before it's time to board, so 12:40. 10 minutes before the train actually leaves. So the train leaves at 12:50. So they start boarding around 12:40. And so they run a really, really tight ship. So basically what happens is they give you about 10 minutes to board. So the train is divided by which type of ticket that you bought. So they have a premium card for the people that paid a little bit extra, and all refreshments are included. Then they have the second tier card, then they have the cheapest tier card. So we were on the second tier, so all of the seats were like a private aircraft, where two of them were facing going forward, two of them will be facing and going backwards. So right now we're organizing where we're going to sit, and we're going to step on the train, and we're going to find our seat. Now, one thing I will say about the train, it was very clean, it was very nice. All of the wait staff going to Miami and coming back were extremely nice, and the young lady coming back was overly nice and overly helpful, and really went above and beyond with the service. But I have nothing negative to say about my experience on the train. It was definitely an enjoyable trip. Now, the only thing that I will say as far as going down, and you're going to see when we pull out, they had I don't know if it's an advertisement or if it was done more so for the sun, but as you can see, there is that cover over the window, so it's very, very difficult to see outside the window. And that's the only complaint that I could say that I did have about the train. I would have wanted to see more going down. Now, when we came back, the window didn't have that on it, so you could see out clearly, but the lights were on, so with the glare you really couldn't see out the window. So that would be the only hang up that I could say that I had about the train itself. But other than that, I mean, it was smooth. It did go the 125, as they said. You could look out the window and see it passing cars. Now, on our particular trip, it was raining quite a bit. So it pretty much rained halfway down. By the time we got to West Palm, it was raining pretty tough. It slacked up in Boca, then it started raining in Miami. So this particular trip, it rained quite a bit, but it was to no consequence. It did not do anything towards the trip. We still had a good time. It was still very, very enjoyable, and I did enjoy the train, because growing up in Florida, this was not a thing. There was no high-speed train, so it was definitely a fun experience, and I would recommend it to anyone. So, as I say, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the view the best that you can through the window, and I'll be back for more commentary. Now, as you pull into the station, so this would be the first stop, which would be West Palm Beach. They run a very, very tight ship, and they move fast. So we get there, and they only give you 2 minutes. They tell the passengers that we will be loading and unloading swiftly, and by swiftly I mean 2 minutes. And they tell you that on the conductor tells you that over the PA system. And so when I say they only give you 2 minutes to get on and off, they really only give you 2 minutes to get on and off. Now, on the second stop, we were actually running a little bit ahead of schedule. So in order to keep the train on schedule, we ended up staying at that particular stop for probably around 7 minutes. But yeah, they're running a tight ship. They stay on schedule, they stay on time. Now, coming back, I know they did have a delay, but I think that was more so weather related, because I believe they're at that time on the West Coast, Tampa area. There was a tornado or something like that that hit, so it did affect the rail coming back, but it did not affect ours because we came back at 8:50, but it did affect the 6:50 and the 7:50 train. But yeah, when they told you the stop is only going to be 2 minutes, they meant it. And it was, the first stop was literally only 2 minutes long. They give you enough time to get off and get on, which anyone who lives up north and rides a subway system or whatever the case is, they understand that subways don't stop that long anyway. So it's pretty much equivalent to your average subway stop up north. And so this is pretty much the view as you pull into the Miami station. Like I said, if that cover wasn't on the window, it would be a much better view of the tall buildings and the scenery. But this is the view coming in, very nice. And so you'll get a chance to see what it looks like once you exit the train. Okay, so we just concluded the trip to Miami. We went on the Star Island tour. So we went, saw some mansions, had a good time with the family. Went back at the Brightline in Miami, headed back to Orlando. So thus far, been out here for a good 3 hours. Been a good trip, been enjoyable. So we'll be getting back on the train, heading back to Orlando. So that concludes the trip to Miami. So there is a separate video of the Star Island cruise that we took while we were down there, and it shows all of the mansions that the celebrities live in. People such as Jackie Chan, P. Diddy, Rick Ross, Floyd Mayweather. The list goes on and on. So just stay tuned. That video will be dropping, and I hope you guys enjoyed this trip on the Brightline. And y'all know the drill. I'm out.